everyone else going? Welcome back to another Walking Dead Dead City video. So I knew that this had to be a possibility. I knew it. After watching episode 5, I believe, is where we do see the Dama die, or apparently die. I knew that I wasn't going crazy, and a lot of people thought as well after watching the ending of episode 5 that it made sense that Dama would likely be alive. And after seeing the teaser here for episode 7, or at least the teaser images here for episode 7, it does seem to confirm it, because I saw a scene from a previous trailer at some point where it really looked like Dama's hair was a lot shorter. I was like, at the time, I mean, really kind of ignoring it because it didn't really seem like it was related to anything. But obviously after watching like the ending of episode 5 where we see Dama apparently die, it was like, well, we haven't seen that scene yet, but I couldn't remember if I actually saw that scene, so I was like, what's going on? Like, it just seemed like it was very off that the character died like that. I mean, it made sense, I guess, with how they sort of did it, but I just felt like there was something else there because, like, it just didn't make a lot of sense. Like, just the way the death scene happened, it didn't make a lot of sense for Dama to go out like that. And if you watch episode 6, like, it does play out like sort of an aftermath or death aftermath episode would, right? Where it's like, well, everyone's sort of like wondering what's going on now. And, you know, they even went there to Dama's room. And so now that we actually see this image right here that was released, this confirms to me that Dama has to be alive, because I don't know who else this would be. This looks like Dama, and there was another teaser as well. So I do want to talk about this because honestly, this is a pretty crazy reveal. Like, if Dama is still alive, that's going to be a really shocking moment in this episode. It's probably going to happen towards the end of episode 7. I think the character is still likely going to die this season though, so I think she probably will die maybe in this episode or in the finale, but her story is not done yet, and this is going to be absolutely shocking for everybody. Like, just whatever this means here for the story here going into season 3. And also, this kind of confirms to me as well that Bruegel is going to be a big part of season 3, because I think they're not done entirely with this arc yet, because honestly, this is really surprising. So yeah, anyways, before going further, make sure to be a subscriber if you want to get all my Walking Dead content like this. Now, I do want to give a shout out to the Discord because, yeah, all of you actually alerted me to, I guess, the teaser images here that did come out. And yeah, I mean, after seeing this, I'm like very convinced that Dama is still alive. Like, I was first in denial. I was like, there's no way this is happening. Like, this has to be something else. Like, I don't know what else I'm seeing here. Like, I know that up there were mannequins and stuff everywhere. So I was like, well, maybe there's something that looks similar to Dama in some way where, you know, Dama's outfits are there or whatever, or just something. I don't know. Or maybe Herschel, like, knowing that Dama's dead, was like, well, I'll dress up this mannequin like Dama, and like maybe found a wig or something from like a walker, or like, I don't know. I was trying to think of like any way that this could not be Dama and maybe just, you know, someone else. But no, it actually does seem like it's Dama. So let's actually break this down here. So I do want to get into some of the other teaser images as well, because there was some stuff here that's really interesting, but I do want to really focus on this right here. So we do actually see this shot here of Maggie and Herschel, and I will just say, this is likely going to be happening later in the episode because Maggie is trying to find Herschel, right? And it seems like he's likely going to be up there in the tower, and so Maggie is traveling up there with the Croat, right? So I do think at this point here, Maggie and Herschel have talked about everything and all of that, and if you look behind Maggie, you actually see someone standing there, and it's honestly really creepy, but it does seem like it's actually Dama. So I do think that she's actually alive. Like, she has to still be alive, right? Like, who else would that be? I honestly spent a lot of time looking at this, and like, it has to be Dama. There's no one else this could be. Like, this has to be, I think, confirmation right here that she actually did survive. And I guess, I don't know why she did what she did. I mean, maybe it's just sort of in a sense of trying to survive, right? Because she can't trust the Croat, she can't trust Negan. And like, what's going to happen now, right? Like, what's going to happen to the Croat now that, I mean, he literally let her die, right? So she's going to want revenge. And so there's just like this whole other storyline that I think is going to be happening here. I don't think it's going to happen in episode 7. I think this is going to be a reveal in the episode, but I think that for the finale, it's going to be a really big thing that happens where Dama's actually there. I still think the character's likely going to die in that episode. I don't see the character surviving to season 3, but who knows? Like, I mean, obviously, if Dama is showing up now, like, anything could happen, right? Like, maybe she's actually going to survive to season 3. That would be absolutely insane, but I don't know. I still think the character is likely going to die in episode 8 because I just think it makes a lot of sense for the character to actually go in this episode. And I actually saw this in a tweet or a post actually replying to when I was saying like, oh, is this Dama or is Dama coming back or whatever? And first of all, thank you so much for letting me know about this shot because I've seen this before. Like this was in the teaser or a trailer at some point. I mean, a couple of months ago. Like this is Dama right here. And it's a very similar haircut here to this shot right here where it really looks like Dama. So I'm assuming that in terms of how she escaped, she likely just, I mean, I guess she got out somehow and maybe, her hair got damaged or something, or she had to cut her hair or whatever to escape, or I'm not sure how it all played out, but she eventually got out, right? And so at that point, maybe she ran away or she was going to the tower here. Maybe Herschel found her and helped her, to get to the tower, or maybe she was already there and Herschel just knew to go here, right? Because Herschel obviously knew that this was where he had to go. And so it's one of those things where I'm just wondering as to how this is going to be revealed and like the explanation for everything, because there's a lot of things I'm wondering about, like, how did she make it out of there? Like, it made sense. Like, the fire was there, but she wasn't like that trapped. Like, Madison in season 4 of Fear the Walking Dead was way more trapped than her. So like, it made a lot of sense as to how she would get away. But like, seeing the walker, I guess it had to have been a walker, right? That was actually there. Like, she obviously put a walker there to sort of, I guess, fake her own death here. And so like, that has to be the explanation there. And I'm just wondering as to like, maybe she was planning this way beforehand and she like knew that the Croat was going to do this, or like, I don't know. I have a lot of questions here, but I do think that this has to be Dama. Like, she is actually alive, I do believe now, and we are actually going to see her return in episode 7. And honestly, like, I was really convinced that she was gone, because if you watch episode 6, like, I mean, I saw at TWalkingDWorld on Twitter actually post the fact that the actress who plays Dama, her name from the credits was removed from episode 6. So I was like, okay, I guess she has to be gone. But like, seeing this, I'm just like, no, Dama is still alive. She's going to be here in episode 7. And because this is happening where Maggie and Herschel are actually together here, I think that this has to be like later in the episode. And maybe it's a cliffhanger scene where like Dama shows up and whatever, it's like a big reveal. Or maybe it's actually something that plays out in the episode. But I think that, yeah, Dama is still alive, and it's going to be a really shocking reveal, I think, for the episode, because, I mean, first of all, for Maggie, she's going to be like, wait, what? Like, Negan was lying? Like, although she might notice that Dama looks like she's wounded or something like that, right? So it might be one of those things where it's like, okay, like, maybe, like, she understands that he thought that she was dead, right? So, I mean, the Croat's reaction as well. What's that going to be like, right? So I think that this really tells us that Dama is alive. And like, again, when I first saw this, I was just like, wait, what is this? Like, there's no way. But I mean, I knew I wasn't crazy. Like, everyone was saying like, no, she's gone. Like, she's definitely gone, right? And I mean, I don't know, just something felt off about it. And so now we're seeing this here, and yeah, it looks like Dama is still alive. So yeah, just really crazy stuff. Now, I want to get into this other, I guess, storyline here that's going to be happening, and that is some of the images that we see here of Negan at the hospital. And it looks like at this point here, he's actually, I guess, chasing this person here that's stealing the supplies, because we do see in the trailer for episode 7 that he does chase somebody who is stealing the supplies or medical supplies that he needs for Ginny, right? And so that's what we're seeing here. We go to this next shot right here where, I mean, obviously this is earlier on in the episode. I think Negan at this point is going to be like, all right, we got to go and get some supplies, and sort of, I guess maybe some other people are just going to like hang out here. He's going to go on his own. I'm not sure what is actually going to happen here, but he does seem to go out there with Benjamin. Well, actually, it seems like it at first. So maybe just in this scene, he's there, but honestly, maybe he just makes Benjamin stay behind with Ginny because, I mean, maybe he doesn't trust anyone else, right? So yeah, this is just a very similar shot to the one that we saw before anyways. Like, it's in the same scene anyways. And we do have this shot, though, of Negan, and this is at the hospital, and I do think at this point he's seeing Lucille. So this is going to be a hallucination scene that, I mean, I think is going to be a really emotional scene. I really wonder how much Lucille is going to be in this episode. Like, I don't think it's going to be one scene. I think it's going to be a few scenes, and she's going to be around everywhere, where maybe she's even like, you know, when he goes back, maybe Ginny is gone. Maybe he has to Lucille somebody or something, and then he's feeling just like, you know, crazy or whatever, and then he sees Lucille again, or like, I don't know. I just think that Lucille is going to be in a lot more scenes than just like this one right here. So, I mean, I will say the acting in this scene, I feel like is going to be absolutely great, just because I think that they all do. I mean, honestly, like Jeffrey Morgan and Hilary Burton, like whenever they're together on screen, like you just feel the chemistry there. Like, it just makes sense that all of their scenes are going to be really incredible. Like, that's why Here's Negan was really just, I mean, honestly, one of the best episodes of The Walking Dead of just like all time, because I think it's because of them too. So like having both of them here in this episode, like I just feel like these scenes are going to be really incredible to see. And then we get these scenes here of the Croat and Maggie. And so again, I think that at this point here, there's actually a lot of images here. I'm not going to go through all of them, but it does seem like Maggie is really scared of heights. And I actually remember that being a thing. Like, actually in season 1 of The Walking Dead Dead City, they got into that, right? Where Maggie had to zip line, and she was like really scared of doing that. So Maggie at this point has to walk across this, and I think she's going to be absolutely terrified. And I think almost makes the situation worse for her because a lot of stuff's probably going to go wrong, right? And the glass does almost break. And so I'm actually wondering how they're going to like do the scene in general, because you could really do it well where it's like, honestly, it might feel really real. Like the character might actually fall. And like, I can just, honestly, like I'm not really scared of heights, but like sometimes it does feel like I could be, just because of it's the way a scene will play out sometimes. Like I just remember watching Cliffhanger, like a really amazing movie, and I just remember like after watching that I was like, I am never climbing mountains or anything like that ever. Like I'm never doing it because of that movie. Like it literally ruined it for me. So I don't know, I could have a fear of it. Maybe we'll have to wait and see, I guess, after watching this episode. But overall, I think that this episode honestly is going to be a really great episode that is going to set up the finale in really like an awesome way, where I think Dama's going to be back. I think that Ginny could die in this episode. I'm just really wondering as to what's going to happen in this finale. Like, it almost seems like there's just going to be so many deaths. There's so many big moments in this finale, and everyone's been talking about the finale being like the biggest episode of the 8, or I've seen the actors and like everyone talking about like, just wait until you watch the finale sort of thing. So I think if Dama's coming back, like if Annie does die, and I do have a theory as to how Annie could die, because I really feel like it could happen now that I'm thinking about it. I'll talk about that in another video though, just because this one's getting pretty long. But yeah, I just think this finale could really be one of the best finales we've seen from The Walking Dead in a while. So yeah, anyways, I'm gonna leave it here. Definitely post your thoughts down below. Hope you all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.